Students joining the Mechanical Engineering program at NDSU, I just want to say welcome. My name is Dr. Chad Alvin. I'm a professor and associate chair within the Mechanical Engineering department, and I've been here for the past 15 years. So I know quite a bit about the program and the ins and outs of navigating the 4 years that you'll spend here. And what we want to do with this video is kind of give you an explanation of our policies for both admission as well as retention, and kind of walk you through how to get registered for your first semester here at NDSU. And so with that, let's get started. Our department is located in Dolby Hall, which is fairly centrally located on campus, just north of the Memorial Union. The main office is on the first floor in room 111, and you can see both the phone number as well as the website is provided for the department. Our department chair is Dr. Alan Kallmeyer. He's been in this position for the past 15 years, as well as a faculty member within mechanical engineering for the past 25 years. His email address and phone number is provided, as well as mine in case you want to get a hold of either one of us. Another person you'll want to get to know in our department is Tanya Erickson. She is our Academic and Student Services Coordinator. Her contact information is also shown. She can assist you with registration issues, course selection, academic processes, general mechanical engineering program questions, connecting you with other NDSU resources, as well as she helps with administrative logistics within the department. One of us, either Tanya, Dr. Kallmeyer, or myself, will be sending you an email based on the information you provided and your current transcript, and we will suggest a first semester kind of course schedule for you to follow or get registered for during this orientation process. Let's talk about our admission and retention policies for the program. Our program is broken up into the first 2 years, your freshman and sophomore years being the basic program, and your junior and senior year being our professional program. Now, freshmen coming in must have a high school grade point average of at least 3.2 or have a math ACT of at least 26 or an SAT math subscore of at least 590. Students who do not meet this requirement upon entry may apply for admission when they meet the conditions as a transfer student. Now, if you're a transfer student coming in, all transfer students, whether from another university or another department at NDSU, must have a cumulative grade point average of at least 2.7. In order to get into our professional program, which would be your junior and senior years, is largely based on the engineering GPA that we calculate. Now, this engineering GPA is calculated based on several of your fundamental basic program courses, which I'll go over in a couple slides. The admission criteria for the professional program is met if you have a minimum engineering GPA of 2.7 or greater, if you have a minimum cumulative GPA of 2.5 or greater, if you have completed all of the basic fundamental program courses within 7 credits, and you have received a grade of C or better in all of your courses, will you be allowed to get into the professional program. For graduation, a minimum cumulative GPA of 2.5 is required, and no grade less than a C in any ME program courses must be met. This includes all general education requirements. Now let's take a look at this engineering GPA calculation. Largely you can see your math courses, your English courses, your chemistry courses, physics courses, a manufacturing processes course that we have you take, as well as several mechanical engineering courses are rolled into calculating this engineering GPA. When it comes time, your advisor can help you make this calculation, or again, reach out to Tanya Erickson in the department if you need help. Advising is something that we take very seriously within our mechanical engineering program, and you'll be required to meet with your advisor every semester. These advising sessions will help you navigate our curriculum efficiently, help you to select electives that meet your interests. We'll also help you with career advice, whether you're looking for an internship or a co-op while you're studying, or if you're looking at finding that perfect job when you finish our program. We'll help you get connected with other NDSU resources as needed, as well as establish a mentorship and help build your network. Faculty advisors will be assigned to you before you start here in the fall, and advising holds are placed every semester, which means you cannot register for the next semester's courses until you have met with your advisor and they have signed off on your plan for courses the next semester. So I encourage you to get to know your advisor once they are assigned to you by reaching out with an email, giving them a phone call, and you can see the list of our mechanical engineering faculty and staff in the link provided at the bottom of this page. Now let's look at our curriculum. This page kind of gives you an overview in table form of both our basic program, which again is your freshman and sophomore year, as well as the professional program, which is your junior and senior year. Now, as you can see in the basic engineering program, there are a lot of your general education electives, as well as many of the fundamental courses that are required for our program. And again, those fundamental basic program courses are used to calculate your engineering GPA, which determines whether you'll get into our professional program later on. I encourage you to kind of look at this curriculum sheet and kind of understand what kind of credits you're coming in with, if you've got some college credits from high school, or if you're transferring in from another university, kind of starting to plug in which courses you've met within our curriculum and which holes that you still need to fulfill. If you're more of a visual person and would like to see our curriculum in more of a flowchart, that is provided on this slide. This gives you a better idea of the prerequisites, what course is needed before you can move on to the next one. For instance, Calculus 1 is required before you can take Calculus 2. In addition, you cannot take Engineering Mechanics 1 or Statics until you have taken Calculus 1, so on and so forth. This gives you a better idea of how one course flows into another and what is required in order for you to complete our program. Sometimes understanding the general education course requirements for the university as opposed to what we require in the mechanical engineering program for the degree can get confusing. So I want to take some time to talk about these general education electives, or Gen Eds as we call them. By the time you graduate, you should have 2 classes from Category A, which is the Humanities and Fine Arts, and 2 classes from Category B, which are the Social and Behavioral Sciences. Now, of these 4 required classes that are mentioned, you need to have at least 1 cultural diversity and 1 global perspective. So what you need to understand is that some of the classes listed in Category A and Category B fulfill either a cultural diversity or a global perspective. What we need you to do is take at least 1 class from either Category A or B that fulfill the cultural diversity, and 1 class from either Category A or B that also fulfills the global perspective. Now, in addition to these 4 classes, you need 1 class from Category W, which is the Wellness. An Associates of Arts degree or an Associates of Science degree from an accredited institution or previously baccalaureate degree will satisfy lower division general education requirements at NDSU. If you have any questions about this, they can be directed to registration and records. Now let's talk about math and English placement, which are both very important for getting off to a good start in our program. First, with math placement, make sure that you take the math placement test. You can take it up to 2 times, and we want you to do your best and take it as seriously as possible. If you test into a lower level math, that just puts you further behind in getting into our curriculum, which is okay, and we will help you, but I just want to emphasize the fact that trying to do your best on this math placement test is important. There's no negative impact for taking it. If you happen to be placed in Math 105 and Math 165 after the math placement test, one caveat is to make sure that you enroll in Math 105 first. Similarly, if placed in Math 103 as a result of the math placement test, make sure that you enroll in Math 103 before enrolling in Chemistry 121. Keep in mind that transfer or AP credit will override math placement results. If you still have any confusion or concern, you can always contact One Stop for assistance. Now let's talk about English placement. A score of 18 or higher on English ACT will allow you to enroll in English 120. Once you've completed English 120 and you've earned a C or higher, you will get credit for English 110. If you happen to score between 14 to 17 on the English ACT, you will need to enroll in English 110. If you receive a score of 12 or 13 on the English ACT, you will need to enroll in ASC 87, and an additional form will be required. And if you still have questions about the math placement, there's a good link at the bottom that you can also follow. Specifically looking at AP scores, we'd like to point out a few things. If you scored a 3 on your calculus AP, it is recommended that you still take Math 165. And the reason being is that everybody gets a different math experience from high school. And we want to make sure that you are successful when you reach NDSU taking our mathematics. And so again, if you scored a 3 on your calculus AP, it is recommended that you still take Math 165, which is our Calculus 1. Keep in mind, your AP scores may not be in the system at the time of orientation. And as I mentioned, they might trickle in later. So what you need to do is check your campus connection in the coming weeks for them to post. When posted, you can make the necessary adjustments like I discussed to your schedule as needed. Orientation advisors will help determine a course plan with the anticipation of these credits being received. And so it's very important to let us know when we reach out to you with an email. Let us know what AP scores you're expecting and or transfer courses that you're expecting. This slide provides many different additional resources that you might find useful. Campus connection help pages, schedule planner help. If you're a military student, some contact information. Any issues you might have with transcripts or in course evaluations, here's registration and records contact information. If you have questions on housing, financial aid, transfer equivalency, counselor or advisor resources, and if you're a transfer student, there's some specific information for you all. So please take advantage of looking through this list if you have any questions regarding any of these areas. Now let's round things out with a quick registration checklist. First item, make sure that you complete the math placement test. And please take this seriously and do your best job, even if you have math transfer credit coming. Second item, notify us as your orientation advisors about any incoming transfer credits that may still be in process and on their way to NDSU. These could be AP scores, final transcripts from high school, etc. Third item, make sure that the financial obligation agreement hold has been cleared on your account. Without clearing this hold, you will not be able to register for your courses, so you need to do this first. Fourth item, make sure you are searching for classes in the right institution and term in Campus Connection or Schedule Planner. This can be kind of frustrating if you're searching for classes and it turns out you haven't clicked the right institution or the term and you have to start over. Next item, activate your NDSU email account. Once you register, this will be the official form of communication between you and faculty staff on campus. And please check this email frequently. Finally, make sure that you can log in to navigate, and please watch for communication from us as your orientation advisors as we start to move through this process and get you ready for the fall semester. So hopefully with the overview that we just provided, you have a better feel for how to get started in our program and get registered for your first semester here. I know I can say on behalf of the department staff and the faculty that we look forward to seeing you in person and working with you soon through our program. Take care.